My dirty ass mirror is driving me nuts. I literally cannot see anything in it.
Yeah, let's I need to take the door down
Yeah.
a little bit.
Okay.
Filming right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord. Hey everyone, it's Autumn. Today I wanted to do a beauty pie haul for you, and then also I decided at the end of the video to do a get ready with me using all beauty pie products. That's what's currently on my face. So if you're interested in that, just keep watching. Alright, so recently Beauty Pie came out with a new fragrance, and so I wanted to try it out. I have their other 4 fragrances, and if you want a video on all of the Beauty Pie fragrances, like some in-depth reviews on those, let me know and I will do a dedicated video. But I did pick up the new fragrance here, and this is Mandarin Leaf, White Cedar, and Freesia. And here it comes in that box. I am actually wearing it now. I sprayed it on myself for the video. You smell a lot of the mandarin, and then the dry down is nice and it's pleasant. I think so far, again, I'll do a separate video, but so far out of all the Beauty Pie fragrances, this one I think is my favorite. It's more my style. I think the other fragrances are fine. They just are not really my style. The second item I picked up is a skincare item, and this is a repurchase for me. These are the Plantastic Micro Peeling Super Drops, and here they are. The reason I picked this up though is because it has a light amount of salicylic acid in it, and I got these for my daughter. She is starting to get like those little breakouts around her nose and like clogged pores and things like that, so I thought this would be perfect for her. These come in just like a clear container like this with a dropper, and you just put some on your hand and pat it into your skin. And they're very gentle, so that's why I picked these up for her, because I've used them in the past and they're extremely gentle. So yeah, I did pick up a couple of base products. So I already had the Great Skin Foundation right here, and I had the shade 250 Weedy, and I guess I was under the impression that I had the shade 200 Buttermilky, so I decided to pick up 250 Weedy again. But the thing that I noticed that when I picked it up, the newer 250 Weedy is deeper than the one I had. Like, you can't really tell a whole lot here. In the Get Ready With Me, I did swatch them side by side. I was under the impression that I was going to mix them together. But my base turned out fine just using the lighter one that I had before. Or no, which one did I use? I think I used the older one. The tone on this one, for whatever reason, goes a little bit more orange. So again, you'll see that in the Get Ready With Me portion. It's not too different to where I think that it might not match someone who gets it if they're used to the older one, but just so you know, it is different. It came out with a new under eye corrector, and this is their Super Luminous Under Eye Genius Corrector. Again, I'm taking everything out of boxes here like I haven't already used it, but I used most of these products in the Get Ready With Me. But anyway, it's a super creamy sort of corrector. The consistency of this one reminds me a lot of the Becca corrector, or what, if you remember Benefit Boing, the old formula when it used to be like that super creamy formula, that's what this reminds me of. But this to me is more of like a brightener than a corrector, because it's pink, and to me, a actual like color corrector for under eyes would be a little bit more on the peach side, but this is definitely a light pink. And so to me, it's more of just like an eye brightener, which is fine. But just keep that in mind if you're someone who is shopping for it. Also, maybe the other shades in this, like if you got the medium to the dark, maybe those would be a little bit more on the orange side than this one. I picked up 2 new blushes because I really enjoy their blush formula, and I wanted to try them out. I got Ring My Bell and Peachy Dreams. Again, I mentioned that I feel like the formula is slightly different than what it was before. It's just a smoother feel to the powder than what was before. If you're familiar with a NARS blush, that's what the other two shades feel like to me. I'll get them out here. I guess I'm doing this again. But the newer ones just kind of have that slit to them. And the older ones kind of have that NARS formula to where they're not as smooth. I found no problem with them, but I think I might prefer the older formula. I do have the newer formula on my cheek right now and it's fine. But also when I went to wipe these away, the newer formula blushes just kind of wiped away quicker. And the thing is, I don't know 100% sure if they did change the formula on these, the middle two or the newer. I don't know 100% if they did change the formula on these or if just the particular shades, the first two I got, were slightly different and then the newer ones are different. Like, I have no way of knowing that unless I actually were to purchase the same blushes I already had. For a future video, I might do that just to kind of compare formulas. Oh, also I picked up, I should have talked about this with the foundations and things. I picked up another Unbeatable concealer, which I'm wearing it now. I had to mix it with my existing one, which is fine because I normally mix my Laura Mercier shades together. I feel like I'm like repeating everything out. I just cut these parts out, I guess, in the second part. But I always mix these together to get the perfect shade to cover blemishes and things like that. So I decided to get another shade because the light shade I had was way too light for me. I had to go to a shade 300 and this is the shade 150 because nothing else really matched my tone between those two. So I had to get them to mix, which is fine. Because I feel like I'm never going to get as dark as the 300. So I can always mix with the 150. Which is going to be perfect for year round. I got a couple of new eyeliners here. I got the shade Copper Hazy and Molten Bronze. I already had the shade Turkish Coffee, which I really liked, which was a matte yet creamy eyeliner, and they're super, super blendable. But I decided to get some of these that have kind of a metallic finish to them, and they're gorgeous. So let's see, this is Copper Hazy right here. And then Molten Bronze is the darker one that's more brown. So Copper Hazy is the red tone, and that's Molten Bronze. I'm wearing Copper Hazy on my upper lash line right now. Just out of curiosity, I got another eyebrow pencil from them because they had talked about on their Instagram stories that they had changed the packaging to their eyebrow pencil, but it's the same as it was before. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know. It's the same as before, but I love their eyebrow pencil before, or maybe they changed it, but they're still getting rid of the old stock, and maybe the next one I get will be the different packaging. They said it was like luxe metal packaging, so I have no idea, but that one's still the same. I did get 3 new eyeshadow sticks. What are these called? They're Wonder Color Cream Shadow Sticks. I got 3 more of these. I have every shade except for the black shade because I just know I'm not going to wear a black shade, but I love all of these shades. So I got Coppertini, Velvetina, and Teddy Bear. Here these are. So Teddy Bear is a cream shade and it's tan. These are so creamy and blendable as well. Also, the packaging of these is newer. I got a few other shades in previous orders that were in this packaging when they were rolling over, which I have Fauna, Entaupe, and Huntress also in this packaging. But the shades that I had before were in packaging very similar to the Laura Mercier Caviar sticks. In case you were wondering, but this packaging reminds me more of the Chanel packaging. So the next shade is Velvetina, which is, I would call it like a light pinky purple metallic shade. And then the last shade is Coppertini, which is a shade that I find is missing. It's a warm toned bronze. So they had lots of shimmery browns, but to me they all went a little cool toned. This is also what I have all over my eye right now. If you want a swatch video of all of these, maybe outside in some good lighting, let me know and I'd be happy to do that video for you if you're wanting to buy some of these shadow sticks. They're all wonderful. So that's everything that I purchased this month at Beauty Pie. If you're interested, keep on watching and I'll show you how I achieved this look today using Beauty Pie products. If you're not interested, thanks for coming by. Make sure you check out my social media. Let's get into it. I'm gonna start off with the All in Wonder Illuminating Primer. And this just gives a really nice glowy finish to the skin without being like shimmery. And it's a very nice base. As you can see, they have two shades. I have the darker shade as well. And the darker shade, again, I mentioned it in my review video of all the products, but the darker shade is the same tone as the Chanel, Tan de Chanel. And that one gives more of like a tan finish to the skin if you're wanting to warm up your complexion before putting on your foundation. I have two foundation shades. I just purchased another one which will be in the haul. But this is in the shade 250 Weedy. And then the shade that I currently had, are they both? I bought the same shade. Stop it. Why would I do that? I literally bought the same shade I already had and I got them to mix, but I guess they're the same shade, but they do look a little bit different, don't they? Or is that just me? Huh. Okay, well, we'll just go ahead and go. Let me see if they are different. Huh. Same foundation. One is lighter than the other. Like barely. I mean, let's not be crazy. But it seems like the older one's a little bit lighter. You can see it a little bit more there. The older one is a little bit lighter than the new one, which leads me to believe that it's not oxidation that has caused this, like over time. Well, let's just go ahead and go in with my older one because I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so this foundation you have to put on with your fingers or a brush, but it has to be melted into the skin. If you try to use a beauty blender upon first application of it, it just won't go into the skin. It sits on top and then it keeps peeling itself off the skin. I notice I can go in after I've kind of rubbed it into my skin like this with the beauty blender to take away any excess if I want. But it really has to melt into the skin. It can get a really natural finish this way as well. And it's probably best for most people to start off with a light amount and then add as they need more coverage. I'm gonna go ahead and take this foundation brush here that's super old. It's the Real Techniques. And I think this is the buffing brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and buff that foundation into the skin. I mentioned in my review before that this foundation does not have a lot of shades and the tones are a little bit odd. So for some reason, I thought I had 200 Buttermilky, and I don't. Yeah, I think maybe I must have had that shade in the Serum Foundation. So I was hoping to get a slightly different tone or shade to mix with it to see if it helped correct the tone a little bit for me. All right, so I'm gonna zoom you in so you can actually see like the texture of my skin. So I like the finish it gives, and you can shear it out. I feel like it has to be sheared out though, or it becomes very detectable on the skin. But I like the finish that it gives, and I'll just use concealer to do the rest because it's a very unnatural finish if you try to build up coverage, I find, with this foundation. All right, so speaking of buying products to try to mix together to get your perfect shade, I already had this concealer in 150, which was a little light and yellow for me. I decided to go ahead and try to get one that looks like it's the correct tone for me, but maybe just a little bit dark to mix the two together. So I did purchase the shade 300, which is medium for them. And as you can see, in the pictures online, it did not look as orange as it is here. And then so here, is the one I already had. So I am gonna just kind of mix those around a little bit and try to get a little bit of coverage and see how they lay on the skin. I'm gonna use this Ofra Professional Makeup Brush in 20. And I'm just gonna dab into a little bit of each of them. And that's like quite a bit on there. And then I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand and see. There we go, that looks a little bit better. So now I'm just kind of gonna go around the areas where I wanna cover up some redness. And then it's like, especially around in here, around the eyes, I wanna cover that up as well. So I'm just gonna kind of go in and pat in and like place it where I want it. And then around the nose. On my chin. My chin's extra red because I just spent about 20 minutes plucking all my chin hairs out. I'll go in with this on the larger areas of my face now and just kind of buff it in so it blends a little bit better. And then I'm going to use my fingers again to warm up around the eyes and then just kind of push that in. All right, and I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit again, just so you can kind of see how that concealer lays. So, like you can kind of see the eyes right there. It didn't really cover as much as like maybe a corrector would. Ooh, which reminds me, I think I will go back in because I did just purchase a corrector from them. And then we might have to add a little bit more concealer, which is okay. I took off most of it with my fingers. So they did just come out with this Super Luminous Under Eye Genius Corrector. And I got the shade Light Medium. And I'm just gonna go in and put some of that. Right in there where I had that blue. Again, I'm gonna go in with this brush now that still has some of that concealer on it. I'll dab it off some and then just kind of pat that in. All right, and then you can like see all of that extra coverage there. So I'm actually just gonna go in with my fingers like I did before and kind of just pat it out and work it into the skin. The reason I like fingers for this is I feel like not only does it work it into the skin better with the warmth, but your fingers will pick up any excess product. Yeah, that looks like 100% better. So now I'm gonna put this concealer, the new one, back into the box because I haven't filmed the haul yet because I wanted to do it with makeup on. And then I'm just gonna act like I'm seeing it for the first time when I pull it out, even though there'll be fingerprints in it. Okay, so now we're gonna go into these Quick Color Contour Super Gels. I really love these. This one is almost out. It's the lighter shade that's a slightly more cooler. The darker one in O2 is a little bit darker and warmer. I am gonna go in with the lighter one if I can get some out of this and kind of contour, bronze up my face a little bit. I might have to, I have a new one in my drawer that I purchased as a backup, which I may have to use because this is getting very low. Let me see if I can squeeze some out. There we go. I got some onto the sponge. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go around onto the nose, under here. Then I'm actually gonna use this Beauty Pie Stippling Foundation brush to work this in and up towards my hairline. And that looks really dark, but it blends like so well. This is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. That's pretty much got the same packaging. And the ingredients on both the Beauty Pie website and the Charlotte Tilbury website for similar things are identical. There's like not one different ingredient. I wish Beauty Pie just made this in the highlighter form like Charlotte Tilbury has as well, because I've been wanting to try the Charlotte Tilbury one. But the only reason I wanted to try the Charlotte Tilbury one is because I liked this product so well. So I'm gonna go in with Peachy Dreams. And I'm gonna go in with this blush brush right here and some Peachy Dreams and just apply it, and we'll see what it looks like. The formula may have changed a little bit, or maybe just those particular shades have a slightly different formula. I don't know because I didn't own the same shades before. I mean, maybe I should purchase the same shades I already have to see if there's a difference. But I mean, it still shows up on the cheeks and it's very blendable. So I'm guessing if they changed it, it was just to make the formula more blendable. But I didn't really have an issue before with the formula not being blendable though. So I don't know. So I'm gonna go in with my little foundation brush and then just go around the edges of the blush. All right, now I'm gonna use my favorite, probably this and the eyeshadow pencils are my two favorite products from Beauty Pie. So I'm gonna go in with my highlighter here, and it's hard to describe. It's like a putty gel situation, and it kind of looks a little bit dull, but then you start spreading it out onto the cheeks and it melts with your skin, and it's gorgeous. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it here. Look at that. It looks so good. And then I'm gonna put it over here as well. And then the longer you wear this, like, it just looks better and better on the skin the longer it wears. And I'm just gonna put a little bit down the bridge of my nose, like right here. All right, so let's do our eyebrows. So I'm just gonna go through, comb my brows, and just fill in the bald spots. So like one product that I feel Beauty Pie is sleeping on is a brow gel. They need to make a brow gel, like a clear one. I feel like that's a necessity. And they seem to have like all the necessities covered except for a brow gel, which baffles me. They do have like the little brow pomade and stuff, but like they need a gel. All right, so finally the face portion and the eyebrows and all that stuff are done. So pretty much I just need to focus on my eyes now. So since I'm only going to be using these pencils for my eye makeup today, I want to use shades that kind of go, I guess, with this peach cheek that I just put on. So I think I'm gonna go with Copper Teeny and just put that all over the eye and then blend it in with a brush, and then we'll see if we want to go anywhere from there. So let me go ahead and put that all over the eye. Being kind of messy with it, I want to then blend it with a brush. I'm going to take this brush right here and kind of just blend it in. I'm going to move this closer so I can see. Fun fact, I'm blind. Not like really, but well, I mean, I require eyeglasses and contacts. So I'm gonna go ahead, do it on the other eye, and then we will assess the situation. I keep looking over in the monitor to see what it looks like. Because my mirror's a little bit dingy, and for some reason, it's easier for me just to see over there in the monitor. So I want to use it also to just smoke out the bottom lash line. It's gonna go in like that, and then take my finger and look up and just smudge it. I want to go in with the Copper Hazy eyeliner and line my upper lash line. Okay, so I'm gonna smudge that a little bit. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to leave the definition there or if I wanted to smudge it. I am gonna smudge. I'm literally doing a winged liner and my watch just told me to breathe. You cannot breathe while doing a winged liner. Everybody knows that. And then, okay, I'm gonna go. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with this beige bombshell shade right here. And I think it might look good just to kind of put right here on the lid. I mean, did that really do a whole lot? But I'm also gonna stick it here on the inner corner. Just patting it out a little bit. Okay, so I think I'm done with like the eyeshadow portion, and I'm gonna go in now with my Shiseido curlers and give them a curl. So I always forget to use my Beauty Pie primer for my lashes. I'm gonna use it today. I have a fresh tube of their mascara, so we'll use that along with it. I find though, a lot of the times with other primers, I really like to like pile them on. This one, just do one coat of primer. I made the mistake of piling it on, and my lashes looked crazy and not in a good way. All right, so I think I still ended up piling it on. I couldn't help myself. So I'm gonna zoom you in to my eyeball. As soon as it decides to, there we go. And you can kind of see, if I look straight on and up, this has fibers in it. So I've given that a moment to sit, and I'm gonna jump in with the Beauty Pie Uber Volume Boost Mascara. Of course, it's Beauty Pie, everything here is. All right, so there is my one coat of the mascara over the primer, and we'll go into the other side. So that's one coat on each side. I'm like looking at it and I'm trying to determine, yeah, I'm gonna go in with the second coat. And then taking whatever is left on my wand, I'm just gonna run it through the bottom lashes a little bit. All right, so I have two Beauty Pie lip pencils. I have Vanilla Nude and Rummy Pink. So I'm gonna do little swatches. I think I'm gonna go with this look since I have the peachy cheek with the Vanilla Nude shade. So I'm just gonna line it out. Mine's a little bit sharp. Like the pencil shaving is getting me right there on that edge. So what I'm gonna do is sharpen it. All right, so my lips are lined. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here called You Sexy Thing. Okay, so this is the final look using all Beauty Pie products. If you enjoyed this, let me know, and I will kind of make this a series as I try more and more of their products, because I have a ton of their products and I only used a couple here in this video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out my social media and leave a comment below. Subscribe if you haven't already. That would be awesome. I'm trying to make videos on more of a regular basis. So anyway, I will talk to y'all soon.